Look, this is going out to the liberals, to the free thinkers, the independent, educated, high-minded people that are watching this. I imagine that most people who subscribe to me or watch this video have seen or at least heard about on the news, the Bill Maher, Sam Harris, Ben Afleck panel thing that happened last week, or earlier this week. I forget exactly when it was. But what happened was Sam Harris said Islam is bad, and Muslims shouldn't believe in Islam. And Bill Maher concurred, and Ben Affleck was like, how can you condemn 1.5 billion people? Fallacy of equivocation much? I am just mortified at the Young Turks, at Liberal Viewer, at some other popular liberal YouTubers that I've watched, and some liberal commentators on television, and some people I actually know, who are sold on this idea that Sam Harris is some sort of racist, bigot, hate monger, irrationally just hateful. I mean, what other word do we have for that? That is racist and bigoted and hateful is what they're calling Sam fucking Harris, who I'm very familiar with, who I've watched hours of debates and lectures from, who I've read one of his books, The End of Faith, and got not a single bit of this idea that he has some sort of personal, irrational, fallacious issue with Islam. That's bullshit. With Muslims, that's bullshit. The religion of Islam is not equivocable to 1.5 billion people who call themselves Muslim or Islamic, okay? It doesn't work that way. Just like the 2.5 billion or something or right around there's Christians, which the difference between Catholic and Christian is quite dramatic, but more or less the same thing, that are around the world. The Bible and the Quran do not equal the multi-million, hundreds of millions of people who follow those faiths. And that is precisely why Ben Affleck is wrong. He contradicts himself in the same sentence. How can you say all these people are bad if it's just this fringe minority who are extremist? How can you equate the entire religion with the extremist? When it comes to both the Christian fundamentalist, creationist, anti-intelligentsia, anti-science, anti-reality, intolerant, and bigoted and hateful people in both religions, Christianity and Islam, which are the dominant religions that are kind of taking place in this discussion. We have America, which is hugely Christian, and Europe, which still has a pretty fat percentage of Christians, which is probably over 50%, or right around theirs. And you've got these Middle East, and then some other countries kind of going down Asia and the Pacific that are Muslim, and largely into Africa. Now, Sam Harris did make some statements that were very easy to pick apart by guys like Reza Aslan, who's like, when Sam Harris brought up genital mutilation, that was something of a gaffe, because that is kind of a uniquely African thing. It's not really a religious thing. It has spread into parts of certain Islamic communities, but there's huge Christian people who are having this problem. But Reza Aslan also made a fallacious misdirection when he was criticizing Sam Harris for criticizing Islam. But the thing is, Sam Harris wasn't really criticizing Islam. And Sam Harris wasn't really criticizing Christianity. And Sam Harris wasn't really criticizing Christians or Muslims. You know what he was criticizing? Faith. And the thing is, for both the Bible and the Quran, to fundamentally and to honestly and wholeheartedly and earnestly, correctly follow those faiths as they are detailed in those books produces a maladjusted, violent, hateful person. In the Quran, which was written down by an illiterate, unlearned warlord in the 5th goddamn century or 6th goddamn century, is technically demonstrably worse and has produced measurably worse atrocities. But that is no excuse. And that is the major problem of the Reza Aslans and the fucking Cenk Uygurs, which it hurt me because I really like him and I am a subscriber to the Young Turks, and the fucking other cowardly liberals who are using this fallacious logic. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay? The moderate, tolerant Christian who's okay with gay people, who loves charity and does all these great things, he's an aberration of the is not correctly following the Bible. That's just the truth. The Quran does praise martyrdom, war, and murder, intolerance, persecution, and violent force, and oppressive totalitarian rule of government by theocracy. These are all demonstrably bad things that have pronounced negative effects on entire countries and societies. And it does not fucking matter how much you got to play I know you are, but what am I? Or how much you say, oh yeah, but Timmy did it too. These are fucking childish sixth grade, not even 6th grade, 1st grade arguments. These are things little kids say to deflect responsibility. This is cowardice, and this is shameful, and this is wrong, and this is ignorant, and this is foolish, and this is stupid. Yeah, Reza Aslan, you're stupid. Okay? Because no matter how many right things you say, what you're saying is a non sequitur to what Sam Harris was saying, which is what was the flashpoint of this. Faith produces evil behavior, and just as Christopher Hitchens said, good people do good things, regardless of religion, and religion can produce good people who do good things. But if you want good people to do atrocities, it takes faith. And only the end of faith can stop things like 9/11 and suicide bombings and the eradication and retardation of secular culture, which has produced everything good that the world has. Is scientific, rational, skeptical, secular culture. And I don't care what you do in your private life when it comes to religion, but when religion becomes a political, socioeconomic, geographical, governmental force, it produces evil invariably. And it does not matter if it's religion, and it does not matter if it's Christian. I want to prevent both. But it's very obvious what the current real threat is. Fundamentalists. This is true. But you cannot quantify what makes a fundamentalist, what creates a fundamentalist, and what the fundamentalist it will do. All you know is there is a fucking point of no return that a religious person crosses, and you can't bring them back. And you can't stop them unless you stop the source. Thanks for watching.